So that is the standard frying pan with one handle. It's easy to handle with one hand. If you have a little bit weak wrists, there is another style. They are usually a little bit deeper, so you could use it as a wok as well, although people who cook in a wok would say she's mad. But if you would have the money for just one frying pan, and no money and space to put a wok and a frying pan and pots and so on, then this would be about the thing that gets the closest to cover everything. And you can use it with both hands. Here, no way, you can't use it with both hands. I had an injury once and I couldn't handle it well, so these were really a good option. However, if you're used to cooking with just one hand, you know, like having a frying pan here and doing things there, you can't do that with this one because the handles are too flimsy. This is something you have to find out. Go in the kitchen shop, hold them, get yourself such a thingy from the shelf and do as if you were cooking. And then you will feel which one is the one that you like best and which you feel safe. Because the stuff that goes in here is incredibly hot. It's usually to do with fat, with spilling things. If you're cooking on an electric hob, you might even raise the fire alarm. So it is hot stuff. You have to handle that safely. As I said, again, the lids go on and they are made from glass. This one is a funny one. It has a little hole in the handle. So if you wanted to add something, a bit of water to avoid burning, and you don't want to lose the heat from under there, so it's all nice and boiling, and you don't want to lose the heat by lifting the lid, you just could add a little bit of something there and it would drip in. I've never used it, but it's a nice touch. So that's the frying pans. And you need such a thingy, a colander. Colander? I don't know. A plastic thingy with holes in. You need it to sieve through pasta. Again, I need a sieve. Cheers. That's, or wash salads, lettuces, kind of thing. Keep stuff, whatever. Such a thing comes handy in so many occasions. And you might want to have something like a plate, probably even a big one and a small one, because if you have wet stuff in there, you want to put it somewhere so that you don't have it all over the place. So, plates like that are really handy anyway when you're cooking. You have one next to you. So you're cooking here, you have to get rid of this thingy, you have to put it there, there you are. And that would be that. And then you might want to have another cup where you have just knife, spoon, teaspoon, and a normal tablespoon are very usual measures. So you need those. A fork to change over something, to not stir in the darn frying pans, but it happens. To slice something off. It's something you might have in your household anyway. And this is a brilliant thing. A lot of measures go in cups, grams, whatever. This looks very ugly and is nothing behind it. I can't even show you because it's not in color. It has the liters, it has grams of sugar, grams of salt, grams and raisins, because it's all different volumes. 500 grams of sugar is something completely different in volume than 500 grams in nuts, right? So this one thing measures about everything you need in a kitchen, and it saves you to pay for a scale. Kitchen scales are nice things to have. They are not that expensive even anymore, and I do a lot with my scale, but a lot of things I'm still doing with my measuring cup here. And it's a wonderful jug if you have to drain something and you want to keep the juice. It's for that purpose as well. I personally love my water thingy it's these Brita filter kind of things, and we used to buy the bottled water, but some things you really want to do with a filtered water instead of just tap water, except if you have really nice tap water. I mean, there are areas in England where you have really soft waters coming from the tap which you can easily drink, and if you're not in a big city where it's highly chlorinated and so on, it's fine. But I usually use for cooking, I use the filtered water. Yeah, that was the basics. So you need one frying pan, you need a pot, you need something to put your pot on, you need a hob, you need a few ladles and stuff and scissors, something to drain stuff, something to measure with, something to cut with. And then you might want to have a few things where you can put stuff in for whisking, for keeping it in, for serving it in. So you might need that. These things are really handy. I wanted to show you that. If you have that as a match, it's brilliant. You can put stuff into the fridge just like that. You don't need to use cling film or so. Another option, which I just love, are those. It's these Pyrex or whatever brand name. Mine are from Lidl actually, How2Kitchen. They don't have them all the time, but when they have, they come in a set of 3 sizes. They are just brilliant. And they are brilliant for microwaves as well. I have to say I'm a big lover of microwaves. I have a huge one in the kitchen. So I know that a lot of people are opposing them for the baby bit, but they can be lifesavers when you have a busy lifestyle. And I'm using them for 25 years now, and I'm still alive. So all I can say, I love using them because you can cook in that thingy, you can eat from that thingy, and you don't have 1,000 pots around. Nothing sticks on. So we will talk about microwaves a bit more later. Then when you have leftovers, you might want to have a few plastic things. Make sure they are for freezing and that you can heat up in there as well. Because you don't want to have the stuff that's in the plastic, the chemicals, going into your food. So they have to be suitable for food, especially when it is greasy things or acidic things, which actually attack the plastics in there, and you have chemical reactions. You don't want to eat that afterwards. So they have to be really good ones. But it's an economic thing to have leftovers frozen and then you eat them later. Another thing, microwaves are really nice thing to have.